Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I hope that you people will be fine, shine, fit, and sit. Today, I would like to deliver my third lecture. Our third lecture is about the age of Chaucer. Uh, it is called the age of Chaucer because Geoffrey Chaucer was the representative poet of this age. So, due to his major contributions during this age is termed as the age of Chaucer. This age usually starts from 1340 to 1400. There were other poets who presented life or who were trying to present the age of that time, but unfortunately they were penned like William Langland, John Gower. Geoffrey Chaucer was the only person who, for the first time, represented his age during 1400 century. There are some qualities of Chaucer's age. I would like to discuss them, but first let me tell you the characteristics of Geoffrey Chaucer. Geoffrey Chaucer is known as the father of English poetry. He is known as the father of English language. He is known as the father of English literature. He, for the first time, planted and experimented his poetry. He used the tools of allegorical poetry. His poetic works were mainly in iambic pentameter and heroic couplets. There were historically two tragic events during his time: peasant revolt, uh, which was a revolt of the lower class, and due to this revolt, they convert into middle class. You can say labor was trying to fulfill their demands, particularly demands for food and shelter. And the other tragic event is Black Death. It was a mass level death, a kind of disease that caused many deaths, people minimized, and it was an occasion that rise of the common people occurred. Some of other features of his poetry are is under. For example, his magnum opus, The Canterbury Tale, is undoubtedly a major work that represents his personality, his attitude, his behavior, and the whole story of that time. His Canterbury Tale was an estate satire in which he included sarcastic comments on royals' commoners. Geoffrey Chaucer were highly impressed by French and Roman writers, and on account of that, he included so many vocabulary, so many words of French and Roman in his poetry. It was a short story of Chaucerian age, or you can say the age of Chaucer. So we saw that Geoffrey Chaucer has got a very prominent position during 1400. While explaining a bit his contribution to words poetry, our language, our literature, we studied that Geoffrey Chaucer can be called as uh, the father of English poetry. So, how he is the father of English poetry? He, for the first time, created a road for poetry. At that very time, uh, Latin was over there, French was over there, and they were the standard language. But Geoffrey Chaucer tried to write his poetry in English, and because of that, he can be called as a revolutionary poet, because at that very time it was very hard to leave French and Roman or Latin language and write poetry in English language. He is also called father of English language because he bestowed so many words and vocabulary and styles to English language. While studying his Canterbury Tales or his other famous works, it's very much become easy for us to study them when we divide his works into three categories: the French phase, the Latin phase, and the English phase. He can be termed as, or he can be called as, the father of English literature because his Canterbury Tale has so many qualities. We can call them stories, we can call them short novels, we can call them dialogues. So, while studying all his characters, we conclude that he has created a road for writing, a drama, for writing an essay, for writing a novel, because his art of characterization is very much important and very much unique. And why I say that he created a road for drama, novel, poetry, and all these genres, because he included characterization. And characterization is basically the main thing for each and every genre to be presented or to be written. Furthermore, we appreciate Geoffrey Chaucer because he criticized the nobility of that very time, and he criticized the common people. He created the royals, and that's why we appreciate his works. If we pick up the Canterbury Tales and we look at it with a deep you can say understanding, so we would conclude that Canterbury tells us, the whole story of the people who were noble, who were royals, who were poor, how they spent their life, and how they introduced themselves, how was their culture, how was their language. So, in this very Canterbury tale, William Geoffrey Chaucer has tried to tells us about the culture, the language, the civilization, and other qualities of human beings of his time. I personally admire Geoffrey Chaucer on account of certain qualities. The very first thing is that Geoffrey Chaucer included himself as a character in the Canterbury Tale in order to tell us each and everything with a deep understanding. So it was something about the age of Chaucer, how he contributed, how much works he did, and inshallah, with the passage of time, we would explain Geoffrey Chaucer furthermore. Thank you so much.